Loud. There we go.
Wow, that's really
Okay. So with that, I want to introduce Frenchie Brown. She's going to be our magnificent moderator tonight. And Frenchie, I will let you take it away.
All right. Thank you so much, Josh. And Cam, thank you for taking me to my 49er network. I just logged on to get set up. So I'll finish that after this evening. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for your time. For you in LA, it's afternoon. I believe it's probably 3:39 where you are, 6:39 where you are. I am Frenchie Wilson Brown. I am currently the president-elect for the UNC Charlotte Alumni Board of Directors. And I'm very excited to be able to host this evening with you and afternoon for those of you on the call. So before we get started, we want to know who you are. We see your names, we see your beautiful faces, but if you could, I just want for you to take an opportunity to introduce yourself. Tell us your name, tell us what year you graduated from UNC Charlotte, and tell us why LA? What made you decide to go to LA? So I'm going to do it based on how I see you on my screen. Bronwyn, I'm going to start with you.
Hello, yes, my name's Bronwyn. I graduated in 2013 and I came to LA because I wanted to try a new city, really. It was actually my second choice. I fully intended on moving to Austin, Texas. I even spent my senior year spring break in Austin during South by Southwest, going on interviews, having informational meetings, fully intending to move there. And that fell through, but it all worked out for the better because I came to LA. I knew a couple people, including one of my sisters who lived here. So I figured, why not just try and see if this works out? And 7 years later, I'm still here and I love it. And I really can't imagine leaving this place. So
wonderful and welcome. Thank you. And Bronwyn, where are you from originally?
I'm from the Chapel Hill, Durham area of North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Welcome. Thank you so much. Dina, I have you next. Tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, well, I work in entertainment, so we don't really give our ages in that question you asked for to give away my answer. So I will tell you how long I've been in my job when we start talking about job. So I always knew I'd be out here. I always knew I'd be in entertainment at 6 years old. I was watching the Oscars with my mom, and my mom said I turned around and went, I'd be there one day. And 26 years later, I'm still at the Oscars. So I just knew. And so that's what drove me to LA. I always, I loved film and I knew I would be in this business. And I'm still here and basically at the same job. So.
Wow. Welcome and thank you so much. And Dinah, I think you're from somewhere else. Where are you from?
Yeah, so I'm from Charlotte, but I sort of grew up mostly in Indian Trail and then on Sardis Road in Charlotte, Matthews area.
Welcome. So glad to have you.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to attempt to say this correctly, middle of my screen. Kene. I want to say it again.
It's Kene.
Kene.
Yes.
Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So I graduated from UNCC with my undergrad in marketing in 2011 from the Bell College of Business, and then my master's in communications PR in 2014. And I chose LA. Well, I wanted to come to LA because I wanted to work in entertainment. I always knew it was going to be either LA or New York, and LA just was the right fit after several interviews in both places. And I also knew Bronwyn when I was in grad school, and she was an undergrad, and she was already here. And I was like, if she can do this, I can do this. So that's how I ended up here. And I've been here 5 years, and I really love it.
Wonderful. And where are you from originally?
Originally, I was born in Nigeria, but we moved to Charlotte when I was 8, and I grew up in Charlotte, went to school there and everything.
Wonderful. Thank you for joining this afternoon and this evening for others. Christine, you're next.
All right. Hi, everybody. My name's Christine. I graduated in 2013. I moved to LA because I started working in the sports industry with the Carolina Hurricanes in 2017 2017. And I took a promotion out here with the LA Clippers. So I basically, when I was at the Hurricanes, drew a map of the cities that I was comfortable moving to continue to work in the sports industry, and LA was on my map. So I took the chance to work for the Clippers because at that time they weren't very good and it was going to be a challenge for me to work in the NBA. So I worked with them for a year and a half, and now I'm at the LA Kings.
Wow. And where are you from originally?
Right outside of Raleigh in Apex, North Carolina.
Okay, yeah, very familiar. Well, thank you all so much for joining this evening to be our panelists. I know we have some additional partners that have joined us from LA. I think I see Stephen out there. I see Jeffrey, Michael Moore, and Pat Gupton as well. So they are just as important as you. So we want for this to be an interactive discussion. But I do want to present my first question to our 4 panelists this evening. Bronwyn, I'm going to start with you. You've been in LA. You told us a bit about your background. Any similarities with Charlotte that you want to share? Anything that you're saying, you know what, this is just like when I was in Charlotte, or this is very different from when I was in Charlotte?
Yeah, well, so one of the reasons I went to Charlotte in the first place is because it was a huge metropolitan city. And so I always knew that I would end up in a big city. And so in that respect, it's another really large, important city, and it's super diverse, and there's a lot going on. So in that respect, they're super similar. There's kind of a main downtown hub. So geographically, it's really similar. But other than that, they're super duper different in my opinion. But a city nonetheless, and yeah, I love it for that reason.
Got it. So Kene, I'm going to come to you because you said if Bronwyn can do it, you can do it, right? So I don't know if she can make it there, I can make it anywhere. So any differences or similarities between, I'm going to include your Nigeria because that's where you're from. I want this to really be that you think about it holistically. Any differences or similarities between Nigeria, LA, Charlotte that you want to share with the audience?
Yeah, I feel like everything is different. People here don't understand when I describe, for example, it's been hot. And so a lot of places in Charlotte have central air. Here in LA, that's a luxury. I'm sure you guys have seen it and everyone else knows. Just things of like that nature, it's more expensive here. It's, I really appreciated Charlotte after I left because, growing up in Charlotte, people, wanted to go to different schools or other places, but then you leave and then you come and you realize that, oh my gosh, Charlotte's actually really, really nice and really, really clean and beautiful and affordable. And so, yeah, I see, like Bronwyn says, I see more differences than similarities, to be perfectly honest.
Wow. Does anyone else want to answer that question before I jump to my next one?
The traffic too. I thought Charlotte traffic was bad.
Oh, you in LA.
Yeah, 77. I don't want to hear anyone complain about it. I'm like, you don't know.
Boy, yeah.
No, they nailed that question.
Yeah, these guys answered the question. I was going to say there's very little similar.
Okay, some, but very, very poquito, not a lot out there. Got it. So Dina, let's talk to you a little bit around what you've been doing, Oscars, red carpet. So we at UNC Charlotte, we continue to try to put together events such as this. How do you keep people engaged? How do you stay involved with what's happening with UNC Charlotte, knowing that you're in PR and on the red carpet? What are you doing to just keep abreast of everything that's happening at your alma mater?
Well, I mean, it was nice because a few years ago, Judy contacted me to get more involved and to help with maybe some of the like homecoming things and stuff like that. And I felt really honored because I feel like I've been really disconnected from home, visiting because I don't really take time off. I work 24/7 in what I do. So, and a lot of us, I mean, we all do in this day and age, right? And especially in virtual world now, everybody knows you're home. So you'll finish 12 Zoom meetings and then somebody will come on and go, can you hop on? And you can't say no because they know you're all at home. So we're all just overly busy, right? And so I haven't really had time to get in touch with UNC. So it was nice to hear from Judy, and I've helped her and Amy do some things that have been really fun to engage. The most fun of it is to hear the accents because I seriously, it calms me and makes me feel like I'm home with cousins and friends. And I really appreciate that It is so different out here. People don't stop by. When I first moved out here, I said, if you see my car, stop by for some iced tea. They were like, we don't stop by. We call first. I was like, you know what? We grew up in the South with community. You come home from church, there was 20 people on your porch waiting for you when you got out of church. And here, they think that's rude, you know? So it took a long time for friends and family to start stopping by and realizing what I meant by that impromptu, like get together and feeling community. And that's probably what I miss most about home. And I try to stay connected by inviting people to stop by. And in pandemic, it's been really hard because my house did turn into a stop by unexpectedly, and now it can't. So that's been what's kept me connected to home, you know?
Exactly. Dina, thank you so much for sharing that. And I'll say to you, I know that things right now with COVID, we still don't know if we're coming or going, but when we get ready to do the Green Tie Gala in 2021, I have a feeling we may be reaching back out to you.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I was coming home for it in April. And so I have a ticket that I'm supposed to use because I was coming home. My family was excited. So
yeah, so I think we'll probably be reaching out to you.
That'd be fun.
Thank you. Christine, let me present the same question to you. How do you stay engaged and keep abreast of everything that we're doing at UNC Charlotte with you being in LA?
Yeah, I would say very similar working in the sports industry. I'm typically working like 6 to 7 days a week, just depending on where we're at in the season. The sports industry is pretty glamorous when you look at it, but I'm working every home game. I'm there till 10 o'clock at night and back at work in the morning. So I feel like it's been really difficult for me to stay in touch. Having football is my way of supporting my Niners on Saturdays. And then I was in Delta Zeta sorority. So I feel like most of my keeping in touch has probably been with my sorority and helping out in that aspect. So I feel like that's just kind of been 2020 has been a tough year for sure, but in the last couple of months, it's almost been one of the blessings that we can take from it is our lives have slowed down a little bit, at least for most of us. So I feel like now is the time more than ever that I can connect and be a mentor and really just, very same thing. It's very hard to have your community out in LA. So that's kind of one of the other side of her point. It's also, time that we have to connect that we normally wouldn't have in our normal working time.
Got it. So I'm going to present this question to everyone on the panel, plus those who have called in, because now you're able to see faces and you've also seen the 49er Network. So you're going to be connecting to each other. Where is your favorite place to eat? So Stephen, I'm going to actually start with you because you talked about where you and your wife have gone the past few weekends to eat on the sand. What is your favorite place to eat?
I think to have somebody in LA is really difficult because in LA, it's my favorite sushi place, my favorite Mexican place, my favorite Thai place, my favorite Ethiopian place, my favorite Filipino place. Every cuisine has its own favorite place. So
give us 2 or 3.
That's 2 or 3. Oh my God, that's so hard. Everybody feels the same way. In Santa Monica, we have a sushi place we've been going to since my daughter before she was born, and it's called Sushi King, and the chef knows us. And now my daughter's gone off to college, and so she's just angry that me and my wife go to the sushi place and get it to go for obvious reasons. So we have a place called Sushi King. We go to the Water Grill in Santa Monica. We go to, in LA, you go to places like Philippe's French Dip downtown, or some of the real good places that are classic. You want to go to a place that's probably 50 to 60 years old if you're in LA, because it's the place that makes you realize you're in a place with history. When it's hard to find the history here. So
thank you so much for sharing that. Jeffrey, I'm going to ask you to give me your favorite restaurant, and you're probably like Stephen, but what's your favorite, your number one? He's on mute. That's okay. We'll come back to him. Kene, let me come to you. What's your favorite restaurant?
Oh, my favorite restaurant. Like Stephen said, it's hard to say one, but LA, a lot of people brunch here, which is what I miss. One of the things I miss most from, pre-corona days. But my favorite brunch spot, I would say, is this place called The Waffle. It is near Hollywood and Vine, and it is divine. I used to go there like all the time, every Sunday or Saturday.
So is there like a chicken and waffle, or is it just called?
They have many signature waffles, but it's both breakfast and lunch. And there's chicken and waffles, there's chocolate chip waffles, there's burgers, fries, anything you want. And it's, really, really fun. And I'm at the point where I'm like low-key friends with the person who runs the door because I go there so much. I text him beforehand being like, hey, I'm coming over. Just give me a spot.
I love it. Thank you. Dina.
I thought this question was more about what's our favorite place to eat at home. So I was thinking about home, you know what I mean?
That's fine. Give it to us.
Well, first of all, my favorite place to eat is my house because my mom lives in the front of my duplex and nobody makes a biscuit like my mother, okay? So my favorite place to eat is home because I'm lucky she makes 3 meals a day, right? And they're all Southern and they're all good. And really it is. But if I had to pick a place in LA, I love going to the Beverly Hills Hotel to the Polo Lounge. It is just history. There's always people there. There's always legends there. And it's just special. Food, going out to eat food, it's not about the food for me. It's about the atmosphere. Therefore, my favorite place at home is South 21 because that family and Chris have known me since I was a baby. We've been going to that drive up and they get so excited when we drive up and I get home. And there's nothing like a South 21 fish sandwich and some French fries. Okay, I'm sorry.
And the steak sandwich too. So gotta give props to the steak sandwich, Dina. Do it on now.
You're right.
Yes.
So,
Bronwyn, what's your favorite? And you can do like Dina. You can do LA or home, whatever you want to give us.
Oh man. I'll give you one in LA. It's the one that comes to mind because whenever my friends and I get together, we always go here. It's a Mexican restaurant in Venice called Casablanca. It's got like a bit of an identity crisis because it's called Casablanca and inside it's all decorated like the movie and Morocco, but it's Mexican food and it's so delicious. We're really good friends with the tequila cart guy that comes around. His name's Chip, miss him. And they make fresh tortillas right there for everyone. So I would definitely have to say Casablanca. And it's been nice. Thank God they're not one of our favorite restaurants that have unfortunately closed during this time. And they've been able to stay open because they're doing lots of to-go orders. So shout out to Casablanca and Venice.
Keep patroning them. So they'll stay open, Bronwyn. Thank you for sharing. Christine, what's yours?
Okay, this is very North Carolina of me, but I actually eat a lot of fried chicken out here. And so Gus's, I don't know what area you would consider that, like not downtown, but in the, I don't know,
Pico?
what area?
Wait, the one near like West Adams and Crenshaw?
Yes.
Yeah, that one there is good.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
like
Gus's, yes, Gus's fried chicken. I have to get my sweet tea fix. Dave's is good too. And then the donuts. I mean, like back home, I feel like you just go to Krispy Kreme or Dunkin' Donuts, and out here we are pretty spoiled. Like Donut Friend is really good in downtown, or Randy's. I mean, there's like a whole list. So fried chicken and donuts are, I guess, some places that I would shout out in LA. There's too many good options.
Love it. Thank you, Christine. Yes, I love a good, we call it repast chicken. You know, they have it at funerals. It's like, when we're going to have some good repast? So I'm right there with you. Michael, I saw you came off mute. You want to share your favorite restaurant?
Oh, sure. So in Charlotte, my favorite restaurant is the Cajun Queen. I don't know if you guys have a chance to go there.
Yes.
Love that restaurant. Now in LA does Mexican food very well. I'm not a big fan of Mexican food. So LA, my places are Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle, Howlin' Ray's in Chinatown, and upscale, I like Boa.
Wow.
It's a steakhouse.
Hope y'all are writing these down, because I'm going to definitely get a list for whenever I start traveling again in 2021, because I got to bring my husband to LA. He hadn't been there yet, so we got to come. So I'm writing them down.
Yeah, Howland Rays you have to do, but the lines are like 3 hours long, and it's
Oh,
worth
no, I
it.
don't need to do it that bad. Mm-mm.
Yes,
No,
yes, you do. Trust you
not
do.
that bad. And Pat, I think you're still with us. I see you on mute. You want to just share your restaurant?
Some of my family's on here watching. I think that's my mom.
That's your mom. So
Yeah.
she'd be making biscuits.
She's making mushrooms tonight, but she's going to
Oh,
guys.
I love it. So I want to just end with one more question. I know we're right at the top of the hour, and I respect everybody's calendar. Before we end, I do want for you to just take a moment to let us know, what can we do to ensure that we are bringing more of you to the table, engaging more of you in conversation? What is it that you want to see from us so that we can ensure that you still feel connected to UNC Charlotte? And Christine, I'll start with you.
Sorry, that mute button will get you. We are in October and you still have to figure out how to get it turned off when it's your turn. No, I think the website looks great to use. I think that's a great start. And I think very similar to a lot of us is just if there's a way to just kind of continue to promote the alumni network in LA, because it's really difficult to move out here. I feel like a lot of people from UNC Charlotte wouldn't have LA on their list unless maybe they were going to a certain industry. But if you talk to people out here, obviously we've all been here several years now. I think it would be great just to get more people out here. I think 200 is a great number, but when you live in LA, I mean, I'm surprised we don't have more. So if we could just kind of get together as a group and help get some more people out here, and if they had people to learn from, I think it would be really beneficial for us and for even just current students.
Christine, thank you so much. Kene, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Yeah, echoing what Christine said, I mean, I think you guys do a good job keeping up with alumni. I still get the emails all the time. But I will say, you know, being at UNCC, I was one of the few who actually really wanted to go and like outside of North Carolina, especially LA. And it was just so hard because no one else kind of understood that. But I think now that, you know, we do know that we have about 235 people here, it'll be, you know, good to like, you know, do more of these things and get together. And also, I'm sure there are, I mean, UNCC is a big school. I'm sure there's at least 3 people who want to be in LA. So just, you know, getting connected with them and, you know, advertising this place more, you know, that would, I think, be beneficial.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Dina.
I mean, like they said as well. I mean, this is so nice just to be on, and you guys put this group together. We wouldn't have done it otherwise. So more of things like this is true. Everybody needs community. It's not good to be alone. You know, God wanted us in community and making a difference, and you guys did that today by bringing us all together. And I think that was a big lift for all of us, and hopefully some other people out there watching. So it's more about bringing community together, I think, right? And when we're able to do that live again, like Christine said, it would be nice to know that we had family out here, you know?
Absolutely.
Family.
And amen.
Right.
God did not design us to be alone.
Right.
Bronwyn, we will finish with you giving your input on what we can do to make sure we stay connected.
Yeah, no, I mean, these 3 put it perfectly, really. I wish I had this website back when I was moving out to LA. I was doing it the old-fashioned way, looking up alumni on LinkedIn, and actually found Steven. I don't know if Steven remembers, but when I first moved to LA, I had the opportunity to meet up with him and kind of get to talk to him about his field and his time in Charlotte and my time in Charlotte. So having that sense of home and your new home, and especially from a professional, you know, work point of view, I think that's super valuable and really helpful, especially when you're coming all the way across the country. So yeah, I guess any way you can promote this website more through LinkedIn, social accounts, anything is really phenomenal. I love this.
Thank you so much. And Michael and Pat, I know that you stayed on with us as well, but before I kick it over to close with Josh, I just wanted to tell you, thank you all so much for everything that you've done. Thank you for joining us this afternoon and this evening. Thank you for being a part of the UNC Charlotte family. We, as of this year, we have enrolled 30,000 students. Go Niners. So I am certain that there's going to be more than 3 that perhaps will come to LA, and we will figure out a way to make sure that we stay connected. I also want for everybody to stay safe, stay sane, and make sure that you vote. Whatever that vote is, I'm just making sure that I put that out there in the atmosphere. So with that, Josh, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Frenchie. I'm going to stop recording now.